Now, you'd think that some of this would be a news story, but this group, Hizb ut-Tahrir, is so ignored by the media that they hold a conference that advocates replacing the Constitution in favor of Islamic law. They talk about a violent revolutionary overthrow of the United States, and they do it just weeks before 9/11, and there's not a peep. And they did it in the hometown of the President of the United States, Chicago, Illinois. The conference was titled Revolution in the Muslim World, From Tyranny to Triumph. What you're about to see tonight are the clips of this conference. The video was taken in a large room with a couple hundred people in it. The audio is kind of hard to hear because of all of the echo in the room. You will hear the voice and see the speaker, and you will hear the impassioned plea as they make their case for the end of capitalism and the spread of Sharia law, the spread of globalism, and the return of the Khalifa, or the Caliphate. It happened on June 26th, between 2 and 5 in the afternoon at a hotel just outside of Chicago. All the raw audio is now available at a link at glennbeck.com. I urge you tonight to please use this network. Use this network. Share it with your friends. We made this network free, even though you support all of and fund everything that we do. We made this network free for 2 weeks so people could try it out for 2 weeks, and if they found nothing of value, they could just cancel and go away, no questions asked. Tonight, I would ask if you have some friends that would listen to this story and listen to these words, that you would get them to come in and watch this and share it with a friend. I don't care if they cancel tomorrow. It's okay. This story must get out. Tonight, we will also give you the history of where this group came from and the history of the Muslim Brotherhood. But we want to start with the actual conference. This is a section that they called Breaking the Shackles. Watch.
We are ready for success and martyrdom. And what greater martyrdom than speaking the word of truth before an unjust ruler? The West was trembling with fear, as it should be. Every day contradicting itself. One day with the tyrants and the next day with the people. But the Ummah is far smarter than they expected. This Ummah recognized that they were the real enemy. Only the Khilafah will heal our wounds. We have been victims of their corruption, their ideas, their systems for far too long. We want our ideas, our systems, our glory. Sticks, bullets, and drones are no match for this Ummah's power. The shackle of ignorance and fear have been broken, and there is no turning back. Honor awaits us. This Ummah is still standing after the collapse of communism, and this Ummah will continue to stand after the collapse of capitalism. So break all the shackles of nationalism, the shackles of capitalism, the shackles of secularism and tribalism. Do not allow for division. After all, our God is one, our messenger is one, our book is one, our Qibla is one, and our Khilafah is one. So uproot all these systems and firmly plant your Khilafah.
Uproot all of these systems and plant the Caliphate. And he was tired, he said. We are tired of living under their system. We will live under ours. Take note that that is capitalism that is keeping them in shackles. You, by the way. The other shackle is nationalism. Now, why do they hate nationalism? Watch.
Whether we're in Toronto, California, New York, Mississippi, Texas, or wherever else we may come from, it's from all of us. We Muslims in the United States are an inseparable and unshakable part of an international ummah, and we should never accept anybody offering nationalism or some tribal identity that separates our beautiful body from each other.
I want you to remember that part. They don't want their body to be separated. They are one ummah, one group of people living under Islam, no matter where they live. Now, you know who else speaks very similar to this, hates nationalism, and thinks America is the only one standing in the way of change? That would be The guy who helped put this together, the International Crisis Group, George Soros. If I may quote George Soros from his own book, "The main obstacle to a stable and just world is the United States. The Bush agenda is nationalistic. It emphasizes the use of force and ignores global problems whose solution require international cooperation. Changing the attitude and policies of the United States remains my top priority." Age of Fallibility, George Soros. I want to go back to the theory that I had. I said this on January 31st. I said this complete thought, put it up on a chalkboard. Radicals, Islamist, communist, and socialist will, 1, work together against Israel. 2, work together against capitalism. 3, work together to overturn stability. Have they done those things? Part 2, the protest will become contagious. They will cascade. They will sweep the Middle East. They will destabilize Europe and the world. That's January of 2011. Of course, that idea was panned. But can you see why this works? This works because these people may not have very much in common. They are not really truly working together in the traditional sense. They are working against a common enemy. And that common enemy is the Western way of life: Israel, capitalism, and the United States of America. So they will work together until it doesn't match up anymore. But by that time, capitalism and the Western way of life is gone. It's time for us to wake up. More in a minute.
GBTV. The truth lives here.